scratch that. Some of you run for a lot of reasons. To stay fit, lose weight, socialize with friends, see amazing places. But some run to make a difference.
I have a mission to conquer, so I'm not going to stop until I get it done.
Bradley Poole is a warrior. He's living with cystic fibrosis, and he runs to raise awareness. Well, you got our attention, Bradley. This summer, he ran 266 miles through New York, and he did it in just 7 days.
Over 100 degrees on the pavement on the hot part of the day.
That's 20 miles in the morning, 22 in the evening. He's not only raising awareness on his run, he's also raising money.
Donations that we get go towards developing better medications that will allow us to live longer, more fulfilling lives.
Running to make a difference. Now that's good to know.
It was the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me, and I've done a lot of things, and I've been a lot of places.
A place where you can come and put those worries and those stresses aside.
And these are going to be the principles that we live by.
I just have so much respect for them and everything they do, so we just have to pay it back to them.
It is telling us to listen, learn, and we now need to act.
And the way we got to get through this is all of us together.
Hey everybody, welcome to Good to Know. I'm your host, Lindsay Boach. We are all about the positive vibes and telling good stories about people doing good things in their communities, people really making a difference. And we start with some really impressive teens.
It's laborious work, especially on South Florida summer days. But to these two young men, it's nothing compared to what our military members do for us.
They're fighting for me, and it's so hard to wrap my head around why someone would want to do that, but I just have so much respect for them and everything they do. So we just have to pay it back to them.
It was nothing more than an idea to exert positive energy into some free time. That small thought now making a big difference.
I used to do this as a side job about 2 years ago, and I made a bit of money, but I figured, I feel like I could have done it for a better cause.
Derek's grandfather's service as a pilot in World War II led the duo to look up groups that help military members, and their research connected them with hope for the warriors.
There's no, selfish bone in their bodies. They're working hard and they're raising money, but most importantly right now, they're raising awareness. And that's critical for many nonprofits as so much investment gets diverted into COVID-19 and social injustices.
We just started going around the neighborhood, just knocking on every single door and just putting flyers in people's mailboxes.
Buckets and squeegees in hand. So far, from Singer Island down to Boca, they're willing to wash down anyone's windows who will give them the chance, and also hoping to inspire more of us to do some good too.
Look and see what you can do. Creative, innovative ways of raising money, like washing windows. Who would have thought, right?
We get the feeling that we're helping people that really can't help their own selves.
It all started with the 50-yard challenge from Rodney Smith Jr., founder of Raising Men Lawn Care Service.
Back in 2015, I came across an elderly man outside mowing his lawn. It looked like he was struggling, so I pulled over and helped him out. And that night, I decided I'll start mowing free lawn for the elderly, disabled, single parents, and veterans in Huntsville, Alabama.
So he turned his good deed into a nonprofit and challenges young people from around the country through social media to mow 50 lawns in their community for those who need some help, and to do it for free. They get prizes along the way, and once they hit 50 lawns, Rodney hits the road. He's making his way to Michigan today to offer Hunter and Sam not only a thanks, but also a lawnmower, a weed whacker, and a blower. Sam and Hunter's parents follow Rodney on social media and put the word out that their boys were in. It didn't take long before they were getting requests.
A lot of neighbors actually were advocating for neighbors that they had that knew they couldn't do it. So it was really cool to see the amount of community that came out. And through that, the boys have actually made what we think are going to be long-lasting relationships with some of these people that don't have contact with the outside world.
50 other kids from around the country have also completed the challenge, and about 1,000 are in the process of doing it now.
It's just great, like especially when things kind of hit, like a lot of the activities they weren't able to do anymore. We couldn't play baseball, we couldn't go out to school, we couldn't have activities to actually do.
And the boys say they're not just giving, they're getting too.
It's heartwarming. We just get to meet nice people that just really want to have connections with other people and they just can't really go anywhere.
They appreciate what we do, and I'll have those people for friends ever and ever.
Hoops, they did it again. For the past 2 years, a group of Milwaukee police officers pooled their money and donated basketball hoops to 3 young people in the community.
We're trying to make sure that we paint ourselves in a different light, show that we're human, we're just like you, and it starts with the kids.
They hope this connection over a game they love will create a positive impact.
For me, growing up, I wasn't always on the right side of things, but basketball is what changed my life.
It just feels good to have a court, it's just like wake up, go outside every day and just practice my dribbling, my shooting and all that.
Making a difference one hoop at a time.
Someone who grows up in the same neighborhood as you and them seeing you do something positive with a badge, using that as a medium, I think that's really big.
The Funnel Cake King in Baltimore has found a pretty sweet way to make an impact in his community, teaching young men how to be entrepreneurs.
We can say funnel cakes, we got funnel cakes over here. We got gourmet funnel cakes over here. It's the same principles. It's a hustling. It's a hustling mentality.
One corner, one kid at a time.
And then we dispatching them. Boom, we dispatching them. We got a Greenmount. Her son is going to be on Greenmount. Her son right here, he going to be on Pratt and Monroe.
Dwayne Bembo Jr., the Funnel Cake King, is holding court.
And then I kept saying kids on their bikes. Kids, they trying to get out. They ain't trying to hear this stay in the house stuff. I kept saying them. And then everybody calling me like, yo, I'm tired of my kids. Take my kids from me.
How you doing today? My name is Amin. Can I take your order?
Doing well, Amin. Can I have a strawberry crumb funnel cake, please?
Your total will be $10.
$10 is perfect. Amin is one of the many funnel cake nights that the Funnel Cake King here is looking to spread all over the chessboard that is Baltimore City.
So the Funnel Cake King, he basically like a father figure to all the kids, and he hired people so they ain't gotta be on the corner, and he don't necessarily give us money. He shows us how to like make our own businesses and how to progress more.
I'm learning how to keep myself in check, how to interact with others, and how to keep my areas clean.
This is the first official schedule, right?
The head that bears the crown didn't come this way. Before starting his first snowball stand in this very spot, Bembo Jr. was in prison for 7 years, taking that time to grow.
I went to barber school, computer repair, fiber optics, got half of my degree in sociology, so that means that I know how to speak to individuals.
He's a black-owned business, and he tried to help. He helped people by taking people out the streets and helping them work, get that money for the summer and stuff.
Can you read number 1?
3 simple principles to start. Check your hygiene and appearance always. Make eye contact with customers. And number 1, no belt, no work.
We can't get upset at nobody else, and we not physically doing it, and we not physically grabbing them, putting the belts on them, and making them do this, and we're not putting notebooks in their hands.
Just making me more responsible and teaching me how to save money and get it.
And these are going to be the principles that we live by.
Grooming the brightest gems under his crown to build their own empires.
I help my mom out, around the house and outside, make some money for myself. Also, my mom out pay bills and stuff.
Well, I'm in JLTC right now, so I want to go to the Army.
A police officer.
Police officer? What makes you
want to do that? It's either that or a fireman.
The Chocolate Spectrum in Jupiter, making sure chocolate lovers get their sugar cravings satisfied, and at the same time training people on the autism spectrum.
All right, good job. And we started it because my son, who is now 29 years old, when he graduated high school, had nothing to do after high school, and we started this for him. All of our employees, except for one who's our manager, has autism, and we also, in better times, had a training program with 20 or so individuals who are on the autism spectrum.
The store is still closed during the COVID-19 pandemic, but Valerie wanted to find a way to keep her students on a routine. She says consistency is important in their lives. Her students are now baking for their own families.
These are the whites, these are the yolks. We did start meeting on a regular basis with our whatever students and staff want to, and they come on and we now bake together. And that's been wonderful. That's been a wonderful thing. And we're going to be expanding that program.
The store does offer online orders. Valerie's family and her employees make the chocolates at the shop.
And we're also doing curbside some days. People order their chocolates, and I sit out here on one of these chairs. And when they pull up, they send me their name. I tell her. She goes gets it from the fridge.
Keeping her students who are on the autism spectrum and customers connected.
There is so much more that's good to know. When we come back, we're heading to the Heartland, where restaurant owners are working to make a difference in their communities.
I mean, food talks to the soul, food relaxes everybody and opens them up.
It's good to know.